Hi children, today we are going to discuss about the chapter first, matter in our surrounding. Let us know which are the points that we have to know about in this chapter, matter in our surroundings. In this chapter we are going to discuss about the physical state of matter, states of matter, characteristics of particles of matter. Can matter changes its state and due to what they changes their state, and also the process called as evaporation in detail. Okay, let us consider one by one. Before going to discuss about these points, I want to recall the things what you have learnt in 7th standard. So what do you mean by matter? The meaning of matter. Already you know that matter is anything which occupies space and has mass is called matter. Next, we can also say that the air which is present around us, water, sugar, sand, hydrogen, oxygen, or the chair, table, or anything which are present around us, they are all considered as a matter. So in this class, in 9th standard, we are going to study about these substances only based on their physical property and also chemical property. Let us see our Indian philosophers what they are said about this. Our Indian philosophers classified our matters which are present in our universe or in our earth. So in the form of a 5 basic elements, and they called them as a panchatattvas of earth. So by that means they want to explain it, but they want to say that all living things which are present on earth are made by 5 basic elements like air, earth, fire, sky and water. That means according to our Indian philosophy, so the Panchatattva, the earth is made by Panchatattva. Earth means it includes both living and non-living. It is made by 5 basic elements called Panchatattva. That means by air, earth, fire, sky and water. Okay, according to our modern scientists, based on their physical property and based on the chemical property, they classified the elements or substances which are present around us. So how based on the physical property they are grouped the matter, and into how many groups they are grouped, and based on chemical property how they are classified the matter which is present around us. See, and what are the things they are going to observe to explain the physical nature of matter? Before that, what this physical nature of matter refers to? That means, what is physical nature of matter refers? A physical property is the characteristic of a substance that can be observed or measured without changing the identity of the substances. That means there is no change in its characteristics, only the appearance without changing any characteristics of that substance. What we are going to explain about its characters, no, that is called as the physical nature. So while explaining physical nature, which are the points that we have to consider, or which are the factors that depends on the physical nature of the matter? Let us see one by one. So the physical properties includes color, density, volume, mass and also boiling point with melting point. So these, based on these topic or these factors, we are going to explain or decide the physical nature of the matter. Okay, in chemical, while explaining chemical nature of the substances, which is the things that we are going to consider, which are the things that we are going to consider, and chemical nature of matter refers to what? See, chemical property are the properties that can be measured or observed only by matter undergoes a change to become an entirely different kind of matter. So totally there is a change in the nature of a substance from one condition to another condition. That means so it includes, that means chemical property includes or depends on reactivity of the substance, flammability of the substance, and ability of the substance which with the to rust. Okay, and you know that reactivity means the ability of matter which react chemically with other substances. So based on the reactivity, flammability and ability to rust, we are going to explain the chemical nature of the matter. Next, children. So after knowing about these physical properties, our modern scientists classified the matter as solids, liquids and gaseous, along with the plasma state and also fifth state. They also discovered that Bose-Einstein condensate. Later we are going to discuss about plasma and also Bose-Einstein condensate. Let us see, on the basis of chemical properties, matter is classified as elements, compounds and also and also substances, mixtures. So based on these physical and chemical properties, they have come to the conclusion that these are all classified based upon particles arrangement, based upon energy of the particles, based upon the distance that is present in the particles. So that means based on the particles arrangements and the energy which is present between them, they classified the matter into 5 groups. That means some substances based on their physical property, they are considered as solid substances, liquid, gaseous, plasma and Bose-Einstein condensate. So now let us learn about the particle arrangements. Due to that particle arrangements, what are the nature that is change between the exists between the solids, liquids and also gaseous. See in this chart, you can observe that characteristics which are extracted or which are explained based on the particles are, according to our scientist, due to the particle arrange based on particles, that means molecular arrangement. They have explained with these pictures. You can see in this chart how the molecules are arranged and how they are interlocked with the solid substances, and what you call the space which is present between the molecules, and what is the use of that one due to that type of arrangement. What is the things that you can observe in solid. Okay, let us discuss in one by one. Due to this particles arrangement, we can see the strong intermolecular force in solids, but in liquids weak intermolecular force, and in gaseous substance very weak intermolecular force. Why this force is so different in all these things? Due to the space that is present between the intermolecular space. That means force of attraction between the molecules. In solid, it is strong because the very less intermolecular space is present. In liquids, large intermolecular space is present between the molecules, and in gaseous substance, we can see the very large intermolecular space. Due to that only the particles are randomly moving in gaseous substances. You keep on observing that pictures, you can understand in the better manner. And due to this less intermolecular space, the solids have definite shape and volume. But in liquids, compared to solid, they don't have any shape. They takes the shape of the container, and but also they don't have any definite volume. But in case of gas, no definite shape, no volume. So based on this only we can say that the density of solid substance is very high and they are having high melting point and boiling point. The liquids compared to solids, they have lower density, low melting point and low boiling point. And also you can say that the density is very low in case of gaseous substances. See, due to this strong intermolecular force and intermolecular attraction force more, they have definite shape. That means solids have definite shape. So that too, due to that, they are very hard and they are rigid and they cannot be compressed. But liquids, due to that less intermolecular force between the particles, they can be compressed. They can be filled in any type of substances. Gaseous, it is very easy to compress the gaseous substances because gases are highly compressible. So best example how the cylinders LPG gas is going to be compressed or filled in a cylinder, no? That there you can see that compression of that LPG gas inside the cylinder. How they are going to fill like that now? Yes. So after knowing about the particles arrangement, that means molecular arrangement in a different states of the substances, their characters also depends. And also you can say that due to that strong intermolecular force between the molecules, they cannot flow. Solids cannot flow, but liquids they can flow. Gaseous can also flow. Due to that only the fragrance, that means smell of agarbatti spreads in the whole room. The liquid also flows from one place to another place. But is it ice or any solid substances which moves from one place to another? No. So these are the things that we have observed when we start to observe the characteristics of the particles which are present in the substance or a matter. That means molecules. Okay, let us study in detail about plasma and also Bose-Einstein condensate. See, next, fourth state of matter, already you know that is plasma. Plasma is the mixture of free electrons and ions. That state we can see only in stars. That means in our sun you can see that type of state of substances or matter. And also along with that definition you can observe one picture which helps us to know the arrangement of particles, how they are interlocked with each other in solid substance, how they are free in a liquid substances matter, and in the gaseous how they are randomly moving and so freely they are moving in gaseous matter. And in plasma, we can see electrons and ions. These states are due to the variation in the temperature. You can observe and you can notice that in this. Yes. Next, move on to the fifth state of matter, which is called as Bose-Einstein condensate. Bose-Einstein condensate was shown, and who has shown that there is a fifth state in the nature of the matter? Our great physicist Satyendranath Bose in 1920. Based on his calculation, our great scientist Albert Einstein also predicted a new state of matter and he named that as a Bose-Einstein condensate. So with the help of this picture, you can understand in the better manner how the states are going to be different depending on the variation in the temperature. That means temperature is the main factor which made to see the substances in a different state. So first one is Bose-Einstein condensate, solids, liquids, gaseous, and plasma. Now we come to know that there are 5 states in the states of matter you can observe in the universe, not on earth. On earth you can able to see only the solid, liquid and gases, but plasma during larva erection you can see that state, but Bose-Einstein condensed state is not possible to see on the earth. Okay, next let us move on to the things which help us to understand the particles in the matter, about the particles in the matter. That means how the particles are present, is the particles are moving from one place to another place, from which region to which region they are going to move, are they exist in the matter. These are all the things that we are going to study. See, here is some evidences which help us to know that existence of the matter in the substance particles in the matter and their motion. And this was explained by the two great experiment. They are called as a diffusion and also Brownian motion. These two experiments help us to understand the characteristic of a matter. According to these two experiments, we come to know that the particles of matters are very, very small. The particles of the matter have space between them. The particles of the matter are constantly moving. The particles of the matter attract each other. So, the two experiments related to particles in the matter called diffusion and Brownian motion help us to know the characteristics of the particle. Let us see how they are explained with an examples. See, when you consider this Brownian motion, see, when you fill some gas in a glass slab or in a glass cell, and when you allow light to pass through it, and when you observe from a microscope, you can see that the molecules will start to move in the small, that glass cell. That means you see that smoke particles constantly moving and changing the direction. It shows that the particles are constantly moving and they are very, very small, and they move from high concentrated area to low concentrated area. Yes, in detail, that particle motions of the matter are also explained by the experiment called diffusion. What this diffusion help us to understand? The spreading out and mixing of the substances with other substances due to the motion of its particles is called a diffusion. Yes, spreading of smell you can understand by observing that spreading out or mixing of substances with another substances is due to the motion of the particles, they want to tell. Okay, the diffusion will occurs when one substance into other substance combined with another substance goes. How it will move? That means it will goes on until a uniform mixture is formed. Example, the diffusion of chromium that you are going to observe in the picture. So you can able to understand that things. Otherwise, you can say that the perfume smell, how it spreads from one place to another place in a whole room. No, that is the best example for this statement. Next, diffusion. What is this diffusion? Diffusion is a one of the property of matter which is based on the motion of its particles. This diffusion is more in case of gaseous substance compared to liquids and in solid matters. And also this diffusion is already you know that it is the fastest in gas and slowest in solid, and also it helps us to explain that that means this diffusion depends on rate of diffusion depends on increasing the temperature of the diffusing substances. That means the diffusion process nothing but the particle motion, that means nothing but the motion of a particle or a molecules always depends on the temperature. If the temperature increases, that molecular motion also increases. That means you can see the diffusion process in a more. Okay, this Example help us to understand how the molecules moving from higher concentrated area to another lower concentrated area. That means when you spray say, perfume in one place, that perfume molecules how it is going to spread in that whole area, no, that they are explaining here. So diffusion is the experiment which help us to the experiment which is related to diffusion help us to understand the net movement of particles from an area of higher concentration to area of lower concentration, and the movement of the molecules or particles are random in nature, and a passive process, which means that no energy is needed for that. And also by this experiment, that means this example you can understand the diffusion, what it helps us to say the particle about the particular particles movement, that means molecular movement. So here it is there, see when the perfume is spread, the dot, red color dot represents the perfume molecules and the blue color dot represents hair molecules. When the perfume, if you spray the perfume, no, at that portion when the molecules start to mix with the hair, and how it is going to be a mix completely with the hair, and how they form a uniform mixture or a uniform solution, you can say that one uniform substance. So in this way the particle that molecules how they are moving from one place to another place, how they mix up with other substances, and from high concentrated area to low concentrated area they are constantly keep moving. So these are all explained in the experiment called experiment related to diffusion. Let us move on to the, let us know in a detail how the diffusion takes place in gases. You know that diffusion in gases is very fast. This is because of particles in the gases moves very quickly in all the direction. Example to explain this, and to say that this statement is right or wrong, no, we can understand this by this example. When you light an incense stick, agarbatti, so in the corner of a room, its fragrance spreads in the whole room very quickly due to the diffusion of its smoke into the air. So we can see this type of process in our daily life, no? That is only called as a diffusion. And also already I told that if you spray a perfume in a particular corner of the room, it will how it will spreads, and whole room, in a whole room you can feel the smell of that perfume. This is this only that means the spreading or mixing, combining with the other substances. So due to the movement of the particles of the matter or a molecules is called as a diffusion. Okay, let us see the diffusion in liquids. Comparatively, the diffusion is slower in liquid than the gaseous substances. This is because the particles in the liquids move slowly as compared to the particles in the gaseous. Example, when spreading of purple color of potassium permanganate into a water on its own is due to the diffusion of potassium permanganate particles into water. Here is the picture you can observe in a clear. Here using the ink dropper, have put some drop of potassium in a glass containing water. How that drop start to combine or move or spreading in a water, and how it is completely changed the color of the water. This only the diffusion. And also you can observe, see you can observe in what in this glass rod, see how that an ink drop gradually dissolves into a glass of water by diffusion. So this is the way you can understand the diffusion process in a particular way. That means the diffusion experiment which help us to understand the motion of the particles. Okay, let us come to know about the diffusion, how it takes place in solid substances. And we can say that the solids, you know that solid substances are very rigid, the molecular movement is very slow in that. That's why the diffusion is also very slow in solid substances. Example, if you write something on a blackboard and leave it uncleared for a considerable period of time, we will find that it will becomes quite difficult to clean for us. Clean that blackboard afterwards. This is due to the fact that some particles of chalk have diffused or sticks into the surface of the blackboard. This is also due to that process of diffusion only. So in this way you can observe this diffusion in a solid. Okay, now we will discuss about the fourth point, that is nothing but a changes of state of matter. The change in the state depends on what? On which factors affects the matter to change its state. So there are two ways we can change the physical state of matter. Which are they? By using the temperature. That means by changing temperature you can change the state. By changing pressure also you can change the state of a matter. That means these two factors decides whether a given substance would be in a solid, liquid or gaseous state. That means effect of change of temperature will leads to the change in the state of a matter. So solid to liquid change that you have learnt in previous class is called as a melting. When you heat solid, it will get converted into a liquid. That process of conversion of matter from solid substance to liquid substance is called as a melting. Similarly, when you heat some liquid substance, it get converted into gaseous substance. That process is called as a boiling, or you can also say that evaporation. Gas to liquid by cooling, by reducing temperature, is called a condensation. And liquid to solid by cooling, no, that means reducing temperature, we can change the substance which is in liquid state to solid state. That process is called as a freezing. So by this chart you can understand that change in the state of a matter due to the increase in the temperature and a decrease in the temperature. By decreasing the temperature, when you heat solid, it gets converted into liquid. Again, if you heat that liquid, it gets converted into gas, and that process is called as a melting and evaporation. And then again, it is when you start to cool that gaseous substance, it get converted into liquid. That process is called as condensation. And then when the liquid substances are again cooled for further, no, you can get that liquid get converted into solid. That is called as solidification. So this type of changes you are observing in our daily life, this changes is due to the change in the temperature. Okay, let us move on to the temperature, means word related to heat. See, in order to convert that solid substance, change that solid state substance to a liquid state now, so you are going to use some heat. Then that heat is called as a latent heat. That means energy. We can say that instead of that word heat, you can say that energy. That means heat energy. You can use that word. That means the heat what we are going to use of substances from solid to liquid is called as a latent heat. See, the word latent means hidden energy. You can say that. In latent heat, when you are going to start to discuss about latent heat, Latent heat is of two types. One is latent heat of fusion and latent heat of vaporization. Here is the graph which helps us to understand the definition of latent heat of fusion and latent heat of vaporization. When you start increasing the heat supply, you can observe there is an increase in the temperature. When solid substance start to heat now, at particular point the temperature become constant, and then that supplying heat is going to be utilized to convert the substance which is in solid to liquid. At that constant temperature where the solid state substance state changes, no, that is called as a latent heat of fusion. Then similarly, when you start to heat some water or any liquid substances, it get converted into a gaseous substance. Gaseous state, it changes its state from liquid to gaseous state. But while changing its state, at few minutes, the temperature is going to be constant. At that time, the heat whatever you are going to supply, that is going to be utilized to convert the state, change the state of the substance. That latent heat is called as a vaporization. So by this graph, we can explain what do you mean by latent heat of fusion. Latent heat of fusion of a solid is the quantity of heat in joules required to convert 1 kilogram of solid to liquid without any change in the temperature. Latent heat of vaporization means the latent heat of vaporization of liquid is the quantity of heat is in joules required to convert 1 kilogram of liquid to vapor or a gas without change or without any change in the temperature. Okay children, we have learnt about the effect of temperature and also the heat what we are supplying to change the substance state, and that is called latent heat. Now let us consider, let us know about the one word or one process where direct change in the state of substance from solid to gaseous. Then what do you call that the direct change in the state of some substance from solid to liquid? That is called as sublimation. What do you mean by sublimation? The change of solid directly into vapors on heating and of vapors into solid on cooling is, so you can observe vice versa. That means changing of solid directly into vapor on heating and changing of vapors into solid on cooling. Both processes are called as a sublimation. Okay, once if the changing of solid directly into vapor on heating is sublimation. Vapors into solid on cooling is desublimation. You can also change. Okay, next, see the common substance. You can observe this type of sublimation process in agriculture, that means in our everyday life, where the camper is the best example. There we can see the sublimation process. Okay, it directly, when you expose that camper to a hair, no, what happens after few days or few minutes or few hours, it start to reduce its size. That means you can say that it converted into a gaseous solid state to gaseous state. And also you can see in that type of sublimation when the ammonium chloride, iodine, camphor, naphthalene and anthracene are exposed to air. That means when these solids are heated, their particles move so quickly that they separate completely to form vapor. And when these vapors is cooled, these particles slow down so quickly that they become fixed and form a solid. That means this process of direct conversion of solid substances to a gaseous substance on heating, and gaseous to solid on cooling is nothing but a sublimation. So this chart will help us to understand sublimation process and a desublimation process. And this dry ice picture is very useful for us to understand that sublimation, how the dry ice directly converting its states from solid to gaseous. This is the process called as sublimation. Okay, and also you can see these things in our daily life. That means sublimation of dry ice, camphor, okay, and naphthalene. Even snow sublimation also you can see, and the ink printer, pink, how it evaporates. So, and also you can observe sublimation in psychologically. Okay, see, these are all the things that we are going to see in our daily life, but we are not able to notice that they are the best example for sublimation. But this is very useful. So in order to understand the characteristic of a matter and how the molecules or particles are going to be moving and how they are changing the nature of the substances. Okay, next, last point that we want to discuss in this chapter is evaporation. Already you also know that it is a process in which the liquid substance changes into a vapor on its boiling, at its boiling point is called as evaporation. And also you can see this type of evaporation in our daily life when we start to dry the wet cloths, no, the vaporization of water will takes place, which is present in the wet cloth. So that is the best example we can notice, or we can give for this evaporation process. And also you can observe that common salt, how the people will be used to prepare the common salts by using seawater. So there also you can see the evaporation process, and here you can observe that the how the seawater is going to be evaporated due to this sun heat, that means heat energy which we are going to receive from sun, and how that water vapors are rising upward direction and forms a raining water vapors, converted into raining water vapors. And so this is the best example that we are seeing in our daily life. And the evaporation of this boiled water is take place, is you can observe in this picture also. Yes, these are all the things that we are seeing every day. And you can come to know that the evaporation depends on temperature of the substances, how much heat you are providing, surface area of the substance, humidity, that means that resistivity, conductivity, that all things comes into a consideration here. And the wind speed, how the blowing of air is going, and the particles movement or depends. So these are the factors that affecting the evaporation process. So in this way you have learnt lot of things related to the characteristic of a matter and the particles, how they are well known, and what their roles in carrying some chemical reactions in everyday life. So these are all the things that we come to know in this chapter. And also we have come to know about the definition of latent heat, evaporation, sublimation, and also diffusion, Brownian experiment, and also fifth state of matter called as a Bose-Einstein condensate, and also the particles arrangement, everything you have learned. I hope this video helped you to understand the first chapter of ninth standard in a better manner. Thank you. Keep watching.